Hey, what's good, everybody? Once again, and welcome back to the channel, Cap Social Network, Capri Social Network. So, in today's video, I wanted to do a live on behalf of a video that I did a few days ago, and on behalf of how poor the audio was because of how loud that the music was in the background while I was trying to do dialogue at the same time. Once again, my apologies on behalf of those that commented on the video due to the music being a little bit too loud because I caught myself trying to test the um, this music before I actually added it to the video, only to realize that after two people spotted out in the comment section that I had needed to turn down the music. So once again, my apologies, folks. Anyway, I wanted to talk about once again how women of today, modern women, that is, and specifically Black American women, by me being a guy that's Black American or Black American male, to make it sound more simple. Anyway, who do all they can to arrange to go out on dates with men only to finesse those men into getting them free meals. Because there are always clips I have noticed over the past few months or so how women are bold enough, so bold enough, Black women, to go out on dates with men only to have zero interest in those men usually, but to have a nerve and audacity to still con, because they're just con artists, low-key con artists who have so much game now to the extent that they know exactly step by step on how to go by conning men into buying them free meals. I'm not lying about that. And due to social media, that's just, you can say, laid the blueprint that much more in how women are taking advantage of men. With that being said, I guarantee you, on behalf of the Cheesecake Factory incident slash date, that if uh, things would have escalated to the extent where the guy would have taken the woman into the restaurant to actually have the date, the actual date, chances are she would have wanted him to pay for the date. So you could say in so many ways it was a blessing in disguise how he didn't get the chance to spending enough money on her during the exact date, during the whole day. Although I know that was his main objective, and to possibly within that same day have sex with her, because when it all comes down to it, that's most of us men's main objectives anyway, and main motives anyway. For the most part, when it all comes down to it, we like to take out women, and in the process, usually get sexual favors in return. Am I right or wrong, fellas? Because I know back in my past, before I got married and settled down, that used to be my main goal when it all came down to it. The first take women out on dates, get to know them, socialize with them. Although in the same breath, anytime you take a person out on a dinner date, you hardly ever get a chance to talk to them like that because of how, for the most part, you're usually trying to eat your food, and that's just makes it usually that much more difficult to get to know someone like you would like to on an intimate level. Even if you take someone, to be honest, out on a date to the movies, it's hard to get to know that person more on a personal level, and in some cases on an intimate level, because for the most part, you're usually trying to enjoy the movie. Now, there are people who have taken dates out, guys who are taking women out on dates to the movies, and one thing will usually lead to another while being inside the movie theaters. You know, they would, wow, because movie theaters are for the most part dark to the extent where they're almost pitch dark, and some couples like to while going on the first date together, may like to sit in the very back and start messing around with each other while filming movies, because while watching the movie, only to really spend money. That to me, that's just a waste of time. If a couple who may go on a date with each other for the very first time may go to the movies only to become intimate with each other, become sexual with each other, instead of going to see the actual movie, that defeats the purpose of going to see the movie now. And then due to how movies, for each movie that comes out, one ticket per person is what, usually $20 or almost $20. And that's one reason why, I know this is off topic, but why so many people now have chosen to stay home and watch brand new movies, chosen to stream movies, because of how expensive going to the movies is now. Also, but anyway, back to the topic. There are so many women that are so conniving nowadays, especially the modern day women, the ones that I would say are between 17 to 35 years old. They're really great at it. And due to social media, because once again, I will not keep on quit stressing this. Social media has just laid the blueprint for so many females to be able to become more cunning, more conniving, into deceiving men, into taking them out on dates, and in most cases, dinner dates for free. And because and with that being said, I remember seeing a TikTok reel a while back on behalf of a black lady who got taken to a Red Lobster restaurant, I believe it was. So when it all came down to it, and it came time for them, both her and the guy, to pay the tab, she wanted not only for him to pay for her meal, but as she claimed, pay for her kids' meal as well. And I guarantee you that while she was claiming that was for her kids, that may, for all we know, have been for her. May have been some extra food she wanted to take home on her behalf so she could eat. Or if not that, she may have had another guy, most likely, that was at home, probably one of those guys, hood guys, that just for the most part plays video games, always is hanging with his homeboys, always has his homeboys at the crib with him, chilling. The chill went, smoke weed went, drink liquor went, do all the trivia Negro stuff. I wanted to say the other N word, but I'm trying to tone down on using that word due to how I don't like that word. Anyway, I guarantee you, while she was claiming that on the date, because you can look this up yourself, just put in, if you go to TikTok, woman goes on a date with guy and claims that she wanted to take extra food home for her kids, something of that nature. Anyway, as she was claiming that the extra food would have been for her kids. By the way, her kids, chances are she may have kids, but then again, she may not have kids at all. She may, like I was just saying, may have had another guy who may have been her actual dude that she wanted to take the food to, but she called herself cunning her date into thinking that the food was actually for her kids. I'm telling you, y'all, these women got hella game nowadays, these black women. And they don't have consciences. On top of that, they don't have consciences at all on how they get over on men. They don't think twice at all on how conniving they are, how tactful they are. You could also say how sharp they are when it comes to cunning men and taking dinner dates. And not only that, but you already, in some cases, when you go to pick them up, us guys, am I right or wrong, fellas? When we go and scoop them up at their homes, we already have to, in some cases, have to wait forever for them to come out to the car when we go to pick them up, due to them how women take forever to get themselves situated before going on an outing. And to make matters even worse, when you do finally show up, to get in the car and us to take you out on the dates, chances are you're gonna be on your cell phone talking. If not that, you're gonna take around 20 selfies, almost 20 selfies. If not that, you gonna be texting the whole while. Your main dude, giving him an update on where you headed to. If he ain't at home, if you have a main dude you may stay with at home, on top of that, if not that, you will be doing Snapchat lives, letting your girlfriends know what the wet is wet, or what's going on for the time being. You gonna give them the update and keep them posted. As soon as you get in the car, you let them know what kind of car your date may have came in, picked you up in. Not only that, where y'all headed to. Not only that, but how is the conversation currently going on? Either how's the conversation on the way to the restaurant while you're in the car with them, if not that, while at the restaurant. And not only that, but you, to make matters even more worse, you even are on your phone for the most part on a date. It's not showing the guy any kind of respect. And that's another thing I wanted to say. Not only are more modern day women, black women, more entitled, more conniving and cunning, but they have gotten more disrespectful and rude due to social media, due to how people don't even much socialize with each other anymore, based strictly upon social media. And it's just pretty sad that people don't know how to really communicate with each other due to social media, how it's for the most part made couples more standoffish towards each other, even people that stay in the same homes, because it's people, with that being said, who may go days without actually talking to each other due to them may having a prior disagreement, only for them to text each other. People that stay in the same house, couples that is, and sleep in the same bed together, will not even take the time to say hello to one another, greet one another when they may wake up. I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. It's God and it's true. They instead would rather text each other the whole entire time while in the house. And not only that, but some don't even much sleep in the bed. Some that have been married for years and years will rather sleep one. Either one may sleep in the bedroom, then the other one may sleep usually in the basement. Usually, most of the time, the guy may sleep in the basement, on the couch in the basement, or in the living room on the couch. If they have, especially they may have a section in the living room. It's crazy. But once again, I want to also say how it's so ridiculous to the point now where women do all they can to con men on dinner dates, to the extent where us men have, for the most part, given up on taking women out on actual dates due to that sole reason, because of how you women like to do all you can to manipulate us during dinner dates. And not only that, I also want to get on you women who we may be nice enough to offer to take out on dinner dates, only to bring the kids along as well. I mean, I don't get me wrong. And speaking of which, I have taken women out before I was with my current woman that I'm with. And there would be times when I would take out women on dates only to find out they would have kids already. After all, it's already hard for us guys to be able to find a woman without kids, due to how so many women start out at very young ages having kids, as far as early as middle school, believe it or not. And that's just making it where more, that makes it where more and more of us brothers have that much less dating options when it comes to the dating market. And to make matters even worse, we have to take on the responsibility of taking on another man's kids, and in some cases become marrying a woman that may have kids already from a previous relationship, or even a woman that may have been maybe divorced from a previous marriage, only for us to be a person without kids and having to be stepdaddy. Because when it all comes down to the average man without kids doesn't want to take on another woman's kids or from a previous either a previous marriage or previous relationship. And when we do settle for women with kids, in most cases, it's due to recreational purposes. In other words, it's due to sexual gratification. But like I was saying about how women have gotten so slick, so conniving, so cunning to the extent where they will do almost anything to manipulate us guys out on dinner dates. Even if we don't take y'all out on dinner dates, but we may take y'all to either the skating rink or the bowling alley. Y'all will go out of y'all way, and even if you may be a working class person like we are, uh, and for the most part living paycheck to paycheck, you will still want us to pay your whole entire fare, whether we may take you either out to a bowling alley, to the bowling alley, the skating rink, the movies, and not only that, but like I was just stating, you will have the nerve to bring your kids along, especially you women. What irks me even more is how you women will have multiple kids, upwards to 4 kids, and you could just begin to know the guy only to want to take him or go out on a date with him and then bring your kids along without notifying him at all beforehand. You know, we already are nice enough to initiate by take you out on a date to whichever else you desire, only for you, as soon as you may pull up to your crib, we have to deal with not only you coming outside, and in most cases already being on your phone as soon as you get out the house good, either that, either you talking on the phone, if not that you texting, if not that you on either TikTok, Instagram, and on and on. And then not only that, you have the nerve to bring your kids along. If you have that many kids, bring all 4 kids to come along on the date, spoiling the date and not caring how we feel. And that's another thing. You women, you modern day black women are so selfish as well, to the extent where you don't care about how we feel at all. Now, put yourself in our shoes. If you were to bring us on a date and you picked to take us out on a date, only to come and pick us up in your car, and you being a woman without kids, but us being a man already with kids from a previous relationship, and wanting to bring our kids on a date. Once again, let me reiterate: you may be a woman without kids at all, and may arrange to go out on a date with a man. Then came that extra date and time to pick him up from his home. He were to show up to go on a date when you get in the car, only bring his kids along with you without notifying you at all. Imagine how upset you would be, or discouraged you would be, and especially your main objective was to look to just be able to spend more quality time so the two of you could get to know each other on a much more personal, and in some cases intimate level. Once again, I never thought about it from this perspective, but when you do go out on dinner dates with people, it's hard for you to get to really know a person like that, because for the most part, you're trying to eat and trying to enjoy your food. Now, true enough, you may talk to each other while on a date, but not literally the whole time, to get to know each other on a much more personal level. Once again, I never really looked at it from this angle until I was recently listening to a guy by the name of Minister Jap. Y'all make sure y'all follow him on YouTube, Minister Jap. His channel, I believe, is called the Minister Jap Network, and he's based out of Chicago, Illinois. He gives good viewpoints. I mean, he fire. His content, even his thumbnails, fire, so fire, and off the chain. And I would say his perspectives on dating, modern day dating and relationships is for the most part like mine. To be honest, he's probably in his late 30s or whatnot, late 30s, early 40s, similar to myself. But that's all I wanted to say, guys, on how women do how they can to finesse guys on dates, modern day black women. Till next time, I hope you guys will have a very safe and good day. Goodbye.